we are facing.
I think when it comes to security, I think a lot of people will give you kudos because when we look back at the previous administration, the Southern Kaduna was literally a killing field, arguably. But that has stepped up. There's still insecurity, but not as terrible as it was. And that's going to make me segue into my next question that has to do with the region. But just back on the debt issue, because debt is a huge problem even for Nigeria. Nigeria right now is in the region of maybe $100 billion. That is, we do the conversion of 159 or so trillion naira. Your state, between 2023 to now, is still around 1 trillion naira, and it's a huge burden on the state. But in answering that, you say you've tried to restructure it. It's not working. So is there a better plan to make sure that this is brought down as much as possible? 90 billion as against over maybe about 1 trillion, because the external debt is in the region of 600 and something million dollars. If you even do today's conversion, it's still huge. And then the local debt, domestic debt is about 80 something billion dollars. So if you put it together, that's a huge amount on a state like Kaduna. What else is left to be done in your books that can help taper this as much as possible? Then we'll get to that security question.
Okay. Yeah, so let me give you one or two examples. Now, that's the reason why sometimes when I came to the national television and talk about the current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, because when the situation happened, I went to the Mr. President. I made it clear to him. I was not talking to him as a governor. I was talking to him as a colleague that we are together in the struggle for the improvement of democracy. Recall, I was in the struggle for democracy in Nigeria alongside the likes of Bola Ahmed Tinubu, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I went in and I made it clear to him. This is why we find ourselves in Kaduna. And I must tell you, he intervened. He supported us. But despite that, if you look at the level of debt as you're talking about, if you go to debt management, let me give an example of the $250 million and other loan. From what the analysis that came out of debt management office, this loan, as you're talking about, at the rate of paying 6.7 billion, don't forget, every month, Kaduna State government pay 6.7 billion to service our debt. And I don't think there's any state other than Lagos that is paying such kind of money. In the whole of northern Nigeria, no state is paying even 2.5 billion naira monthly as a debt servicing, but Kaduna State is paying 6.7 billion. It's okay. We cannot abandon governance because of that. That's why we are doing what we are doing. The only thing is that we have to look at the financial situation of the state, and we have to be very prudent. And honestly speaking, I have to thank all the people I'm working with them, because most of them have realized that we need to look at ourselves in the mirror and address this issue collectively. When I came in, it took us 2.5 years for anybody working with me, whether you're a commissioner, whether you're a deputy governor, whether you're even the secretary of the state government, nobody had an official vehicle for 2.5 years, because I made it clear to all of them. And when I came in, I looked at their salaries and allowance, because some of them were working before before I became governor. So I sat them, including deputy governor, that look, we are looking at these salaries, particularly some aspect of it that is called performance bonus. And I'll tell them, performance bonus is not in the books. Can we remove that? And
all right, Excellency, because of time, I'll need to cut in. I'll need to cut in because of time and take a break. My apologies.
I must thank everyone. So we were able to work together, and that's really helped us.
Yes, I'll need to cut in and take a break.